Hi, everybody. 11 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, coming to you from the weather office at KGW TV in Portland. This is the big update for the trick or treat rain forecast. And as you know, all week we've been tracking this solid band of rain that looks to be a pretty wet system. And the question is, and it's still the same question to some degree, will this rain band stay only along the North Coast and not come into Portland until after the trick or treat hours? Let's define the trick or treat hours Friday as 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if that's the case, I still think, as I've been saying, Portland has a pretty good chance to at least see some light rain or some light showers during the trick or treat hours. However, there are now some models that take this solid rain band and drop it down all the way through Newport and Salem by 6 p.m. by early evening. And if that's the case, instead of some light showers or some very light rain in the Willamette Valley, we would actually see periods of steady rain that would be moderate to maybe even some heavier rain pockets during the trick or treat time. I don't think we have a lot of wind or anything, but it would be significantly wet. So all of this is still somewhat in flux or in question. Now, on the left side, this is the national blended model, and it shows early evening at 6 p.m. rain in Tillamook up through Astoria, Long Beach, Seattle, all of Western Washington getting wet, Kelso, Longview getting wet, but Portland down into Salem and down into Eugene perhaps staying dry, or, which I think is a better bet, seeing at least some light rain or some light showers. Now, again, there are some models that take this rain band and they drop it all the way through. So prepare for a wet evening and we'll see how wet it is. We're also going to be talking about the fact that this wet system coming in tomorrow into Saturday sets up the fourth overall kind of wet weekend in a row. We'll get into what Mount Hood snow levels look to be as well. So that is all coming up. And of course, as always, this is brought to you by the sponsor, Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify for a variety of investment topics meant to educate you from Momentous Wealth Management, licensed in Oregon and in Washington. So this is KGW TV's Futurecast. This is one of the models. This is 6 o'clock Halloween evening. And look at what this model does. It drops what I just mentioned, the solid rain band, all the way down to Newport, Salem, Portland. So if this is correct, it's absolutely raining tomorrow evening and actually moderate to some heavy rain. So that is an increasing possibility. All right. Here it is on the satellite picture. This is a really wet, impressive system. So on this Thursday, see this batch of clouds right in here? Follow my cursor. This is mid to high level stuff that's filtrating across our sky state, kind of a filtered sun, partly sunny to mostly cloudy day. And this works its way across all of our state. But there's absolutely no rain chance from these clouds. Here's the weather system, and it's juicy, if you will, that we're following. Satellite picture indicating some lightning back here just south of the low. There's the low right there. And this moisture plume is impressive, and it's going to be a slow mover. So once steady rain starts tomorrow, it'll be raining for maybe at least a good 18 to 20 hours before it moves on and gets out of here. And I'll show you some more forecast models coming up. I do want to show you this. This is the blended hydro total precipitation map. It basically is microwave satellite imagery that gives us an idea of how much precipitable water is being held by the satellite clouds that we're seeing. And if it rains, how much that rain could be. So here's the intertropical convergence zone down here where you see all the red. Notice this little kind of finger uplift of the yellow. So this is showing you, if you come down here, this is 45 to 50 millimeters of water. You do the conversion and you come out with the potential of 2 inches of water. And the fact that this is coming upwards where you saw the satellite picture showing the clouds, that's basically the microwave satellite imagery showing that all those clouds I just showed you, that it's in fact raining underneath those clouds. And this is saying there's enough water that there could be 2 inches of rain coming inland. Some of the modeling does show the potential of 2 inches of rain at the coast. So this is all kind of checking and verifying at this point. All right. So in terms of snow levels this time around, notice that Ski Bowl, 36 degrees at 11 o'clock this morning. All the snow that fell last weekend is gone. I mean, they had like about 6 inches at one point in this area of their base. That's all melted away. You've got 13 still on the ground in the base area of Timberline ski area and 14 over at Meadows. Problem is, high confidence this will be all rain at the resort base areas this time around. It's going to be an 8,000-foot snow or rain level. I mean, it could be raining as high as 8,000 feet on Mount Hood um, tomorrow evening and tomorrow overnight. I think much of Saturday it's still raining at 7,000 feet. And in the tail end of this, you might start getting a wet mix or some snow transformation down as low as 5,000 feet, which is Meadows base. But generally, it's going to be just rain. And right now, government camp's 41. All the passers are in good shape, and all the passers are going to see rain, not snow, this time around. Again, this is my Mount Hood page. You can find it on my weather site, portlandweather.com. Brought to you by Hillcrest Ski and Board Shop in Gresham. Big, large ski shop there for the upcoming season. They rent gear, you can buy gear, pretty much everything you need. All right, here's the 4-panel European model. And let me play this. I'm going to start it tomorrow morning. So this is Friday morning. So the green is the rain, basically, still offshore Friday morning at 5 a.m. Here's the big impressive looking front. The front would be, follow my cursor, right here is the surface front, right in through here. And this red dash is the 540 thickness. That's kind of the rain snow line. So it's right here. Where the lines are close together, that's wind, really intense rain, wind just in front of the low, but that's up offshore in Canada. So that's Friday morning. We're all dry. Here's Friday afternoon. Now, notice how the deep moisture band is just now at 5 p.m., nipping Astoria, but all of Western Washington. So, according to this, it's possible that maybe at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Portland's just getting some light showers. But then well, it would be a pretty good bet that we would basically see increasing rain during the trick or treat hours of 6, 7, 8, and 9 as the main moisture band moves in. This is a little delayed back from that KGW Futurecast model that I showed you, but it still shows likely rain, just kind of increasing as we go through the evening. The front itself still well offshore, and notice how the lines of equal pressure, the isobars, they're a little tightly packed, but I mean, this is probably wind gusts at the beach around 30 miles per hour and not much wind inland at all. Here's Saturday morning. Now we're right into the middle of the rain. Again, it's a slow mover. This is a long stretch of steady, widespread rain coming in. Here's the front Saturday morning. The surface front just nipping the western coast, the coast of Washington, but still offshore from Portland. Okay. Let me move this to Here's Saturday PM. Now this is 5 p.m. We're on the back edge of the rain. This is a little slower than KGW's Futurecast. But if this is correct, we see increasing rain Friday evening, steady rain all of Friday night here in Oregon, and steady rain much of Saturday. Okay. And then by Saturday, here's the front. The front is just through Portland and moving up into about Mount Hood Saturday at 5 p.m., according to this model. But see, these are the thickness indices, the dashes. Again, they're technically an indice of the density of the air mass, but you've heard me say they also can act as a roadmap of where the main moisture advection and flow is. So the fact that we've got this kind of dashed highway coming into our area, that's where the main moisture flow is going to be. And it increases the likelihood that much of Saturday is in fact seeing steady rain, kind of a washout of a day, if you will. Now, but again, there's not much wind. By the time we get to Sunday, now I've actually got a surface side trying to come in. Here, watch my cursor. The main rain band is Cascades eastward Sunday morning. The Willamette Valley and the coast is drying out, but there's another little shot of some moisture over Portland, especially up north in Washington, that could produce some scattered showers. The flow pattern is what we call zonal. See, and these are kind of packedly tight contours of pressure at 18,000 feet. That's a good zonal flow, but that's energy kind of flowing in. And notice the front. Follow my cursor. Here's the front all the way into the Dakotas, but it potentially gets kind of hung up over our area. See the 540 contour? That's where the cold air is north of that. So the cold air behind the front hasn't really come in. So is there a frontal boundary that kind of parallels over our area Sunday morning? If so, we'd still have an absolute chance of at least showery precipitation riding that stalled out frontal boundary. And then as we go into Sunday afternoon, now the surface ice kind of coming in. Whatever boundary is here probably is washing out. This shows that we're in a dry zone over Portland. I wouldn't guarantee that, but clearly the chance of scattered showers Sunday morning at this point look better than Sunday afternoon. And the fact that the surface high is building in, you've got no wind to speak of. Okay, so that's the European model. Now, let's take a look at how much rain could be falling. This is the European model rain projections. This pretty much matches KGW's Futurecast as well for how much rain comes in starting late tomorrow or Friday evening through the night through Saturday daytime. So rain totals through um, 5 p.m. Saturday. This shows there is an inch in Portland. It shows almost an inch and a quarter in Kelso Longview. It shows 1.60 in Astoria. Shows 1.75, and some models show 2 inches of rain in Tillamook. Again, these bright kind of red bullseyes are 2 inches of rain potential. And remember that microwave imagery supported that there's enough moisture depth that if we squeeze a lot of it out, we will get 2 inches of rain in some areas of our state. This shows 2 inches plus of liquid moisture up through the Cascades in Washington as well. I did not check snow levels up in Washington, the Cascades up north. But if this is snow, that's heavy snow. No doubt about that. And then you've got lesser amounts down in the southwestern corner of our state. There's what, Medford, 4/100ths of an inch. There's 3/10 down in the Grants Pass area. Here is Lane County still showing maybe 6/10 of an inch of rain down around Eugene. So really from Newport, Florence, Eugene, northward, that's all pretty good rain. And the rain amounts, precip amounts get heavier and heavier as you go up to north, as you can see. Okay, this is fun. I showed you this the other day. This is the American GFS model. The green areas are moisture saturation, kind of moisture belts, if you will, up through 10,000 feet. So I'm just tracking the flow of moisture. This is Friday morning. There's the moisture mainly offshore. Here is Friday afternoon. Now we get 5 p.m. trick or treat time. This would be right on the edge of the heavier rain coming in. But then just watch this. We've got all that rain coming in Saturday. There's a showery chance Sunday, a bit of a break Monday morning. And then Monday afternoon, here's another surge of moisture coming in. That's with a front that comes in Monday overnight. Tuesday's kind of showery. And then here's a much wetter system coming in November 5th, Wednesday of next week. This is a wet system. If this is true, Wednesday of next week would be an all-out washout of a day, just steady moisture falling. Haven't checked snow levels there yet, but it's a south flow. I would assume moisture levels are somewhat high, but I have not checked them yet. The big story is that's a really wet Wednesday of next week. And then we got a shower chance lingering Thursday. Here's Friday of next week, Friday the 7th, maybe a bit of a moisture break into Saturday the 8th. There's another front coming in Saturday overnight into Sunday the 9th. But overall, let me back this up. Just look at this moisture flow. Bam, 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 bam. That's a very active first 10 days plus of November that we're going to keep you updated on. Okay. All right. So let's go around the horn. These were 11 a.m. temps. Medford today, 66. All dry tomorrow, 66. Remember, there's more rain with the system north of Medford. We just saw that. There was very limited precip totals, so they're going to chance of rain. That's it. And then back to dry Sunday, Monday. And there's that widespread, real big soak Wednesday of next week showing up. Okay, that was Medford. Let's go up into Bend. All dry through Friday, absolutely. Chance of some rain Saturday. I think there will be some scattered showers in Central Oregon Saturday. Then all dry Sunday, Monday, and then everybody's wet Wednesday of next week. So the models seem to be locked in on, especially Wednesday of next week. Wednesday of next week could be more rain potentially than what we're going to get, which could be an inch this coming Friday evening, night through the day Saturday. And maybe it's a wetter system than that next Wednesday. Here's Pendleton, all dry through Friday. Chance of some shower activity on Saturday into Sunday as well. And then basically dry into Monday. Okay. All right. Seattle, this is going to be rain likely on Friday and Saturday. Bit of a break on Sunday with a scattered shower chance, and then rain chances picking up into a really wet Wednesday. So, today on this Thursday, it's the only day on my Portland 7 day that has no rain chance in it. Every other 24-hour period does have a rain chance. So today, 58 down in Eugene, kind of partly sunny. Cloudiness, but staying dry during the day tomorrow. And then rain chances pick up in the evening, overnight, eventually. The wet, rainy Saturday, that's a 90% chance of rain. That's solid rain much of the day, even down in the South Valley and into Eugene. And then Sunday's a much drier day with just a scattered shower chances, some sun breaks. That makes sense. And then while there are some shower chances Monday, Tuesday, it's that Wednesday likely rain that really picks up. And Salem, I think, is going to be pretty comparable to Eugene. instead of decreasing clouds over there, I don't know. What this is saying is that later this afternoon, these passing clouds get out of here, and we could actually have some clearing before the sun goes down. We'll see. Uh, Friday, this is an evening rain chance. I don't like this because I think that there's a better than 20% chance of rain picking up tomorrow evening in Salem, and then really wet through Saturday day. Sunday's a bit of a break, and there's the wet weather building next week as well. Astoria, what we got? Rainy Friday, rain picking up in the afternoon hours for the North Coast. We saw that. Saturday's a washout. Sunday, some scattered showers, but really Sunday, Monday, not that wet until, well, let me back up. Sunday, not that wet, but Monday afternoon, rain picks up. Rain at times Tuesday, and they're really wet and wild Wednesday. There could be absolutely more than 2 inches of rain coming down at the coast. North Bend's going to be drier. No rain chance today or Friday. Saturday, though, is rain all the way down the coast. And then Sunday's kind of a break. Some rain on Monday, and then it picks up into Wednesday. Okay, so everybody's 7 days is pretty similar. Here's my 7 day for Portland, brought to you by Hazel Dell Tire Pros up off of Highway 99 in Clark County in Vancouver off of I-5. All right. Well, I said partly sunny today. Maybe it's going to be more mostly cloudy. I'm looking out the window here from the KGW weather office, and the clouds are pretty thick, but there's no rain chance. The rain picking up later tomorrow into the evening, and we'll see how. The only question, I think it's going to be raining during the evening. The only question at this point is the intensity. We know eventually overnight it's raining pretty good. We know Saturday's mostly a washout until later in the afternoon. We know Sunday's a pretty quiet day with a scattered shower threat, especially in the morning. We know there's another wave of rain coming in Monday afternoon. The morning could be dry. And then Tuesday, not steady rain, but there will be some rain on the radar. Then that Wednesday, again, this looks to be a really big soak at this point. All right. That's your update. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. When you subscribe, you're notified. If you have notifications turned on when I post, helps me out too. And later today, I will get my winter outlook posted on this YouTube page as well that I finally completed and started broadcasting yesterday. You can read the text written form already with the graphics for you, a shorter version on my weather headline link on this weather site, on my weather site, portlandweather.com. I'll talk to you soon.